Welcome back to
Welcome
another
back.
episode of Vegains and Vagitarians.
We are your hosts
Lucy Taylor
and Victoria Barkley
coming to you live from Lucy's living room on a Friday night.
because we're that rock and roll.
We have had quite a stressful evening tonight. Evening tonight?
Evening
We've
to
had quite a stressful night tonight.
yes.
Trying to order delivery.
It was stolen from us from the bottom of the flats. The driver left it at the door, and by the time we got down there, it was gone.
So we decided, we had about I'd say 20 minutes between waiting for our food to arrive and nipping across to the big Tesco that is literally a stone's throw away
Okay,
from
don't
the
ever
flat.
go for juice because your dinner will arrive while you're gone.
It was a Friday night. The self-checkouts were mobbed. We were kept waiting ages because
There was no one manning them.
we had to wait for someone to, what do you call it? We had to wait for someone
Approve the
to
monster.
approve cans of energy juice. And while we were standing at the checkouts, the delivery guy attempted to phone me, and I did not answer because I have anxiety about these things.
Yeah, and we were busy kind of trying to ring our shopping through as well.
Anyway, by the time we got back to the flat, the delivery guy had supposedly left the food outside the front door of my building. Toria ran down.
I ran in there.
Literally ran. Within the space of 2 minutes, one of my neighbours had collected the food themselves and taken it in. So,
Not that I'm spiteful, but I hope you really didn't enjoy your stolen dinner if you're listening to this.
I hope that whoever made their dinner did not wash their hands.
Justice.
I hope they get food poisoning.
Yep. I hope they weren't vegan and realised their dinner is. Maybe this could be a valuable, teachable moment for them.
Mm-hmm. It could be.
We might have just welcomed another vegan into the world.
Anyway, thankfully things did work out for us. I reported the order as
Stolen.
I reported the order as not delivered.
Technically, it wasn't delivered.
And the deliverer were ever so kind, and they reordered the food for us. So we still got the food, but I was hangry in between.
Yeah.
We did get burgers from Buck's Bar. Portion sizes are ginormous, by the way, so I definitely recommend if you're in Glasgow, Buck's Bar all the way.
Yep, it's worth waiting that extra hour for your second dinner because your first one was stolen. Probably somewhere in Glasgow.
Anyway, on tonight's episode, we are going to play a game that I came across this game a couple of days ago. I was actually reading about something similar in a book, and it was to do with communication or building relationships, just having honest and open conversations with people. And I think that that's something that Toria and I are very good at.
We like this game. We played it earlier. There's a spin the wheel feature.
Yeah. But I think just generally speaking, you and I are very good just communicating well with each other. And I think that when we were first getting to know each other, before we'd even met, we were talking about our values.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely delve into values more.
Our values is a biggie.
Yeah. But one of our shared values is communication. It's really important. Communication should be one of everyone's values, to be honest.
Yeah. I really feel not even just in a romantic sense, but if you're not communicating, obviously from a rugby background, if you're not communicating, the wheels are not going to turn. I think it's a key thing for everyone.
Yeah.
But I definitely
think
as
well, in our roles as coaches, we need our clients to communicate with us. I also appreciate that trust needs to be built up over time. You can't rush any kind of connection, but I think that Kiwi.
Just starting Kiwi.
I don't know if the mic picked that up there, but
she is meowing.
Cat.
Do you want to meow into the microphone?
Say hello to your fans. But yeah, I think that communication is fundamental to any kind of relationship.
It was a big one for us, hence why when we found this game kind of feeds into that, because obviously there are It's a question game, basically.
So the name of the game, and I believe that there is like a physical, like a card deck version of this as well. But the
You've got the
game,
travel version.
we've got the. I actually paid for this as well. It's called We're Not Really Strangers. So it's about like shared intimacy, and there are a bunch of different topics on here. So there is the original one, got the family one, couples wild,
Mm.
friends, honest dating, special friends,
Special friend.
relationships, breakups, forgiveness, and self-reflection. So there are loads of different topics on here. We're still kind of trying to figure out the rules because there's something up with the app and it's not actually giving us like the
Explaining us
flow.
what to do once we've answered the question.
Yeah. So I think the way that we should do this, like just for the sake of this episode, is rather than taking turns, we both answer the questions
Together.
together.
Okay, yeah.
So let's pick a topic.
What one shall we go for? We could go for original,
Okay.
just to start the ball rolling. Kiwi's all for it. Kiwi has joined us for this second episode. She won't speak because she's a cat. So
Maria, are we picking perception, connection, or reflection?
let's go perception first. We'll start from the top and work down.
Okay. So do you think that I'm usually early, on time, or late to events? Explain.
Early,
You think that I'm early?
yes. The reason being is for one of our dates, we had, for Valentine's weekend, we went to the ADHD and Women's Summit at Glasgow University,
Oh,
and
yeah,
I remember arriving at yours for maybe about 8:30, and when I got there, you were already conscious of being late, and it was something that I could see was like an anxiety provoking kind of thing for you, the concept of being late. And I remember saying, look, we're going to walk, and I was like, look, we've got cars as an option if we run late. And then when we got there, we were good 45 minutes early anyway.
We were, but I thought we were going to be late because I thought it started an hour earlier. So this is where perception comes into it, because I think that I'm actually late.
Oh.
Like, I feel like I usually run late to things and I get really panicky. But there are certain people that I know I can be late with. So, like, Kit's an example. Like, whenever me and Kit are meeting up for a walk, either one of us will be late, or one of us won't have received the message, or like won't have left the house. So I always know that if it's not Kit that's going to be late, then it's me, and vice versa.
You're like, one of us will be there.
Whereas I think in other situations, I do get a lot more panicky about it, because I'm like, this person is going to think I'm a terrible person if I'm late.
No. Well, I hope you can be late with me. Show up when you're late.
In terms of what I think about you, I think you're always on time.
I aim to be.
Yeah, I just think you're nice. Like, you have been late, but it's never been intentional. You're not one of those people that just turns up late to things and doesn't give an explanation. It's like, if you're going to be late, then you'll let me know that you're running.
Like, normally if I'm like aiming to be there, like I remember for a good first couple of dates, I used to send you like a picture of the map in the car, so you would know exactly when to expect me. I just don't like the idea of like, if we were meeting up for a date and you were like, oh, I don't know when she's going to be here. And obviously I was in the car, so I thought I wanted to let you know, like, expect me at this time.
Because I think I told you as well, like before we even met, I was like, that is like I don't want to say a trigger for me. I think it maybe is in some ways, but it's more just like kind of like last minute changes to plans and stuff that make me really anxious. And I think a lot of that is related to my neurodivergence. It's like, I like to know the plan. Like, I like to have a plan in place. And I freak out when there is no plan, because I'm like, well, what do we do with all this empty space then? Like,
because we'd spoken about, is it part of like the PDA where if you've got something later in the day, that means that time before that you're like, well, I can't go do something first, because what if that impacts my likelihood of getting to the next thing?
I think it's more of like an executive functioning thing, because it's like, my mind just gets stuck on things. So if I know that I've got something coming up, whether that's like an appointment or I'm hanging out with someone, or like it's maybe something I'm quite anxious about.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kind of struggle not to get fixated on that. So then it's like it's just really difficult to like do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also like a struggle with transitions as well. So like I struggle to like change tasks or like and not even physically but mentally it's really difficult to like move from one
Mm-hmm.
thing to the next.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that like plays into it as well where if I don't know exactly what to expect then like
Mm-hmm.
my brain just kind of like freaks out a little
That's
bit.
what you did message me that on your first date. You'd been at the gym in the morning and you messaged me that you were stuck in the car.
Yeah.
And I genuinely thought your doors were stuck. And I was like, what do you mean you're stuck? And you were like, no, I'm just sat here.
I know, I'm like, no, I like physically cannot will myself to get out of the car. And that became a lot more of an issue once I became self-employed because like,
Mm-hmm.
see, when I like worked an office job or whatever and I had to be somewhere at a certain time or I had to be logged into my computer for a certain time, I was so much more efficient in the mornings. Whereas now it's like unless there is like a demand that like needs my attention, it's really difficult to switch between
Mm-hmm.
tasks. Like, like it sounds so ridiculous, or it does to like someone who hasn't experienced it before. But it's like that's just my reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's like no matter how much I want to do something, I can't physically will myself to do it. Sometimes it's like I just lack the power. Like I lack the energy to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like we've spent enough time on
And
this
isn't it?
one.
We shall move on.
So let's go for connection.
Right, here we go.
Do you think the image you have of yourself matches the image people see you as? No, and I think that's something that I'm very much
Mm-hmm.
trying to work on at the moment. Um, this is something that I think we've spoken about a lot recently, like
Yeah.
especially at this moment in time because I trying to like mentally recover from a bunch of things at the moment. Like my self-worth is not in the best place that it's ever been in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like one of the things that our relationship has really taught me and really shown me so far is like I feel like you're holding a mirror up to me a lot of the time, and that can be quite difficult at times. Like when I think about all of like the traits and all of the things that I appreciate in you, they are characteristics that I know that I have in
Mm-hmm.
myself. Like all the similar like shared values and stuff that we have, like I know those are things I have in myself, and like that's why I'm attracted to that because I want
Yeah.
more of that in my
Uh-huh.
life. Um, and I think sometimes it's quite difficult for me to like accept that.
Mm-hmm.
I just have this really like negative self perception for some reason.
I think
It's just like low self esteem.
mm-hmm. kind of became more visible the more we got to know each other.
Mhm.
I think in like the early days of getting to know someone, like people all have this not a front on, but everyone comes across more confident they are because obviously everyone's trying to manage their own nerves and things. And then the
Yeah.
more we got to know each other and relax into it, there was this kind of like it would show through in little things like you're saying, where you would kind of you like I knew you could do or whatever it was you were up to, but for some reason your head was like, no, I can't do these things. I don't have it in me. And I'm like, yes, you do.
Yeah. And I think like a lot of that for me is just it's like at my core. At my core, like I know that I am the person that people see me as.
Mhm.
But like on the surface, I think it's just because I've been hurt quite a
Yeah.
lot. So like that has really like knocked my self esteem quite a lot.
Hmm.
And it's been quite difficult for me to be like, actually, like I'm willing to put myself in a situation where someone is showing me the good parts of myself and reminding me like how much value I add to people's lives.
Of course you do.
Sometimes I think it's just easier to be hard on yourself, and I don't know why.
I think it definitely is easy to beat yourself up. I think
Hmm.
but it's something I'm guilty of as well. But like from the get go, you would obviously say things like almost like put downs to yourself, and then I would sit either if you'd like messaged me or if we were together and you'd maybe said something, and I'd sit there and like that's not how I see you.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Do you think that you have the image of yourself matches? Do you think that the image you have of yourself matches the image that people see you as?
I would say no as well.
You want to elaborate on that?
I would like to.
Nah, you're alright.
No,
Pass.
we'll move on. We'll move on. We'll just leave it at no. I think there obviously is an element of it. I think everyone does it to an extent. You kind of touched on it as well. When everyone has a struggle,
Mhm.
the difficulty is putting your hands up and going, I'm struggling with this thing, or
Mhm.
like, I've encountered this, or like, I've been through this and now I feel a certain way. Kind of, it's almost like push it down and just get on with it. And I think, especially in our line of work, we are almost like the North Star. In a lot of ways, it's like you're the example of how to lead the healthy lifestyle, how to,
Mhm.
and then when you're not feeling particularly strong or particularly healthy, you almost feel like you're like, am I not being not being genuine, but you're like, people think I am a strong person. You're like, I don't feel strong today.
Yeah.
I think obviously over the course of the relationship, obviously I think one of the things that's been really key is we've been quite vulnerable
Mhm.
with the other and just went, look,
We've been
here's
very vulnerable with each other.
here's how it is and
Yeah.
here's how I feel about it. And I think what's strengthened our bond as we've got to know each other is for each of us in turn, whenever those moments of it is, and it's like, right, it is difficult, but I'm listening
Mhm.
and you've got the space to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
So I think there is always an element. I think it's not so much how other people see you is different from how you are, but I think it's the closer people get, they'll see the little ins and outs of what make you tick.
Yeah.
Whereas I think from a distance, it can be easy. I think especially with the donor, like social media and all the
Mhm.
rest of it, I think it can be very easy to assume. We've
Oh,
spoken about that before
absolutely.
about like people see snippets
Yeah. And they
of
make
their
a lot of
lives.
assumptions about you
Mhm.
based on that. And I think it's so difficult, like, when you put yourself out there as well, because yes, like, it's like for me, I get a lot of messages from people like saying like I appreciate like how open and how honest you are, but then I think there are a lot of people that do make that assumption because there are certain parts of your life that you do choose to share.
Mhm.
They just assume that you don't have any experience in the things that you don't choose to share, and it's like, no, I'm
Yeah.
actually and as much as I post my struggles, I'm still curating this like persona
Mhm.
that's not quite like the full thing, because there are little things that I'm like, actually, the world doesn't need to know this thing, or actually, I'd rather just keep this thing to
Yeah.
myself.
And I think there's this element of like if you share one thing, there's an expectation that you must share everything.
Hmm.
And you're like, no, I've chosen to be vulnerable and, like we're saying, like maybe post something or share something, but that doesn't mean you would necessarily do it in every circumstance, and it doesn't mean
Exactly.
anyone has the right to hear any
You don't,
information.
yeah, like you don't know it. You don't owe anyone an explanation for
Mhm.
absolutely everything.
But it's like no is a complete answer in its own right.
Yeah,
So is yes as well.
yeah, I agree.
So my answer to that question would be no.
Interesting. So we've done connection, we've done perception, so reflection.
Oh,
Why do you think we met?
oh, that's very philosophical.
I feel like we touched on this when we were texting
We
this
did.
morning.
We had a very deep chat this morning. We often have deep chats, to be fair.
I think we should delve into that a little bit. So I
Mm,
think you should talk about the significance of the day. So
the
today is what, the 20?
28th of March,
Mm-hmm.
2025.
Yep.
And a year ago today, I would currently be at home. I was probably asleep by now because I was probably sore. A year ago today, I had an operation to repair a complete rupture to my anterior cruciate ligament, so your ACL, which for those of you that are not aware what that is, you have one major ligament. You have multiple ligaments in your knee, but the big daddy is the ACL, and it's responsible for the stability in your leg. You lose that, your leg is like unstable, impact, running, like change of direction, like your leg will buckle. It has implications for quite a lot of things. And 10 years ago, the medical, well, I say 10 years ago, in their lifetime, the medical knowledge and technology was not what it is now, and that would have ended a professional sports person's career. So to play at grassroots or just be a kind of casual gym goer, whatever, would certainly have ended it. So I'm very lucky to have sustained injury when I did and to have received surgery when I did, because obviously things are advanced and you can return to, like, I see your normal self. You will always have, like, my graft is made of my patellar tendon, so there isn't actually anything artificial. And my leg, it's made from another bit of me, also means that I am now missing bits of me from elsewhere. So I had my operation a year ago. It's quite a significant operation. It's considered major surgery. But this time last year, I was, to pardon the pun, on my knees. I thought my business was done. I didn't see how I could come back from an ruptured ACL to the level of fitness I was at when I stopped. I wasn't really taking many clients on the gym floor. I wasn't sure if that's what I should be doing or want to be doing. I felt rather lost. And I remember waking up from this operation. I woke up at 12:30 in the afternoon. That's the first time I remember seeing a clock. And I remember thinking then, like, almost everything was over. Everything was out of control. And there was this complete sense of loss. And I thought it was quite wild. It was the first thought when I woke up this morning. The first thing, I actually didn't, like, I was aware of the date. I knew the 20th of March was significant, but I did not realise it was my anniversary. My first thought when I woke up in the morning was of you, to be honest. Like, I woke up and I was like, I'm just excited to see Lucy when I finish work. Like, I cared about was finishing my shift and getting over here. And it was only once I got into work and was sorting the gym out and doing all my morning checks, I thought, oh, it's the 28th of March. Like, it's my anniversary. I thought, how different those two mornings were. Like, a year ago, I would have been terrified in the morning and I would have certainly been doped up in painkillers and certainly very sore. And here I am on your couch. Kiwi, who, she's a cat, I think we've mentioned her before. Kiwi's in between us. We've had our dinner. We're cuddling and we're filming a podcast. And I just think there's an element of, I feel like the universe put me on a little trajectory and I feel like you arrived right when you were supposed to. So I do think there's a reason we met.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, we kind of spoke about this when we were texting back and forth earlier today as well. And I've been like reading a lot into like the idea of like soulmates or like, what did I say? So I'm gonna say, was it soul part?
It's soul connection.
Soul connections. And like, I found the concept of like soulmates really interesting because there are different types of soulmates. Like, there are romantic soulmates, there are like soul partners, which I think are like maybe like childhood friends and stuff that you reconnect with. I think that soulmates exist in so many different contexts, but I think they are people who you cross paths with at a certain time who like teach you certain things about yourself. And I feel like I've had like soul connections with people in the past who like have similar values, like whose goals are maybe in alignment with mine, like who we just bounce off of each other really well. But like there's maybe like an element missing, or there's maybe like a part of themselves that they still need to like heal or grow from, that I get quite triggered by because I'm like, well, actually, like, you have a lot of negative energy and that's bringing out the negative in me and I don't like that. But it's like, I've never experienced this where it's been like all the conditions are just right for like a really beautiful relationship to like blossom. And I feel like with you and I, it's like we've met each other at similar points in our life. Like, it, we share a lot of similarities when it comes to like, our upbringing and our life histories, but also like a lot of differences. And I think that like with the differences, like we can learn from each other rather than it being this thing of like, oh no, like we're too different. Like, again, like I've mentioned like values and I've mentioned like goals and stuff. So I think with us having like really similar careers, like really similar like visions for our future, like, okay, we've never really like sat down and spoken about like, what do you want your future to look like what are the ins and outs, like the details going to look like where would you want to live. Like, we've not really spoken about like any like that stuff, but I feel like generally speaking in terms of like the things we want for our business and like
Like the broad brushstrokes. Finer details, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
But I feel like they've not sat and like no one's uncovered that. Like, so say for example, a value of ours is communication. We've not very other doors been like, I care about communication, and the others went, I don't care about communication.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, like I just feel like we've got this like soul connection, and I feel like we have actually like, even though we've only known each other for a short couple of months, like we've been through a hell of a lot in those months, and we've learned a lot about each other, and like, yeah, I think that every time a situation has kind of cropped up that's been challenging between us, it's like we've just kind of stuck together and figured it out. And yeah, like I can't say for certain why I think that we've met, but like what I do know is that it's been like a really healing relationship so far. And like I think that, yeah, I just think it was meant to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, you know.
You know. But funny won't go by you.
Exactly. So I think we're going back to perception now.
Get back to perception.
It just says let go of your attachment to the out.
Is that a question?
No, the demand.
It's a demand.
Well, I guess that just ties back into what we're just talking about there. Like, let go of your attachment to the outcome. So, whatever.
You sent me that the day in your journal.
Yes, I did.
You sent me that. It's like if you want something, like let go of the want for it. It was almost like manifesting it in.
And I think that that's really relevant to like actually some of the conversations that we've had recently, and some of the things that were kind of getting in my way when it came to our relationship, because I was becoming so obsessed with this idea of like, why do things not feel exactly the same all the time? And like, why is it unsettling me that like 1 minute, like I have this like intense, like hyper focus and I'm like, yes, like this is everything. And the next minute I'm like, everything's a little bit too overwhelming. And it's like, just stop overthinking it. Like, just be. Just let it be.
Let it be.
Like, just chill the fuck out and let it be. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's not really too much.
Yeah, no, I feel like that kind of captured
that was more of a like command.
I mean, that was like, do this.
So, connection. How are you, really?
Oh, that's very well, thank you. We've had a...
No, but really.
Are
you sure?
It's been a long week.
It's been, yeah, a long week for you.
It's been a long week for me.
It's been quite a quick week for me, I'm not gonna lie. It's actually been a really good week for me.
I mean, in a lot of ways has been good, but in a lot of ways has been tricky. We're contemplating next steps in business, and it's not been easy. I've not found it easy. There's obviously things going on at home with relatives that aren't particularly well, but Vision has been any sunshine all week and kept me smiling. And it was nice to finish work today and just collapse into your jacked arms. Yeah, we're good. I feel good. So I suppose how am I really? Good. And there's obviously been a lot on this week, but I feel good.
I'm glad. I'm pretty good too, so...
Really? How are you really?
What do you think my superpower is?
This is going to sound weird, but it's like, I was going to say that's easy, like lifting, but I don't mean weights. Like, I don't think you realise your capacity to bring light, if that makes sense.
I'm crying.
Don't cry on the podcast. I'm trying to refresh.
There's tears in my eyes. That's so sweet.
You're a light bringer.
You're making me so emotional right now.
Keep it together, man. Podcast.
That's so sweet.
Like I say, like I know how you make me feel, but like I see it with your clients as well. And I think obviously we've spoke about like things in the past that have maybe been really difficult, and maybe you've been made to feel that you don't do that, or that you've maybe forgotten it. But like, both first impressions of you and the impression I continue to hold is that you're someone that brightens That's your superpower.
I
You,
feel like I'm just being basic if I say the same back to you, but like, I think that your superpower is just that ability to make other people feel seen and feel safe and
mm,
feel understood. Because, like, I feel as if there are so many things that I was like scared to be upfront about when it came to like us getting to know each other. And like, not once have you like blinked at anything that I've like told you. You've just been like, oh, like,
it's a Taurus in me.
is that it? Like,
There was a couple
like
of
nothing
times where
phases you.
you'd tee up like a conversation, but I need to say this, and I'd be sitting like either at the other end of the phone or next to you thinking, oh, what's coming, and then you'd say something that you could
Yeah,
tell obviously had weighed on you.
yeah.
But I genuinely
And
would
you're
think
just
they're
like,
going,
cool, what's the big deal? And I'm like, so I think that it's just like creating that sense of like safety and you just got this really like nurturing and like comforting energy about you. So I would say that that's your superpower. I feel like that is quite similar to like your answer for me, but
Mhm.
maybe a little bit different.
I suppose it's like growing and like, as Lucy will know, I love a gardening pun. My papa was an avid gardener, still is, and I think there's just something like I like nurturing things. I like watching them grow.
That's so sweet.
Even if sometimes it means I just stand back and watch, or if I have to apply water or burgers, whatever.
I think we should try another one of these.
Okay,
I think honest dating. We haven't tried this one yet, so
yeah,
I'm
let's go for
interested
that
to
one.
see because I think this one's like kind of early stages of dating, like finding out about.
Mhm,
And I mean, like we're still kind of there.
mhm,
Yeah, it's still only been a couple of months,
uh,
and there's still a lot to learn about each
yeah,
other. So let's check this one out. Okay, interesting.
just so
This is
simple.
a deep one. So, what's something I do that unintentionally hurts you, and how can I change that?
Um, long pause. Like I think anytime we've encountered anything with each other, we have spoke of it.
Yeah,
Like I wouldn't regard it like I'm
like
not.
there's nothing that actively needs to change right now.
Like I wouldn't like everything that we've. I think it goes back to like the fact we communicate quite a lot.
Okay.
Like fair enough if we have had like obviously like any issues we've needed to speak about, like if even if they have been difficult, we spoke about them. I'm not sitting here with anything going like,
Yeah, I suppose maybe like the one that would maybe come to mind for me
yeah,
that is something that I know has unintentionally hurt you was like invalidating your feelings for me
mhm,
before.
mhm.
But that was like me being in denial, if that makes sense.
We kind of spoke about that, and that was more like a defense. Like you
Yeah,
were out to protect.
yeah,
It's not something I would say. Like obviously we've spoke about it, and I
yeah,
wouldn't regard it as something that's ongoing. If that
yeah.
makes sense.
Like I'm even just reading this question myself, and I'm like, there's literally nothing that you've done that's unintentionally or intentionally hurt me. Like when I think of you, like,
Apart from maybe if I've been asleep and I've rolled over your hair
yeah,
when you had it.
okay, yeah, but that's like physical pain.
That's physical pain.
Like emotionally, mentally, like psychologically, that you've literally done nothing that has hurt me. Like,
Why would I?
I don't know. So
That's not a
yeah,
vibe.
I don't know. I don't think we can really. No,
I feel like
I don't relate to that one.
well, we deal with things when they crop up. What's that one? Your
That
faces.
was one about writing down song lyrics, so let's not do that. Okay, when's the last time you ghosted someone and why?
I mean, I'm a nightmare on my phone at the best of times. It's normally been I get a lot of traffic from non-clients, as I'll call them, so they're not necessarily inquiring about signing up,
Mm.
but they just want
Free advice.
free advice.
Yeah.
So they want programs or nutrition. Kiwi's
Kiwi was watching the screensaver on the laptop.
oh, are you our tech support Kiwi?
She loves it.
Mm.
It's like, wow, this is cool. I love her so much.
Her paws really get me. She lines them up.
Oh, she's so cute. She's like, this screensaver's really cool.
She's still watching it.
Oh,
We love Kiwi. Meow. No, she's busy watching that laptop.
I mean, I'm pretty mesmerised by the screensaver on the
Now we're
laptop.
all watching it. Bunch of cats. Probably to answer that question in terms of, and I don't, it's not come from a malicious place, but obviously we kind of just spoke about like my papa's not been well, things like that. So people that message me wanting something but not willing to go through the proper processes to get it
Mm-hmm.
don't get the time of day. So yeah, I would openly say I will ghost you. That.
That's fair. I ghost a lot of people by accident on Instagram
Mhm.
because I will be in conversations with people and I have a really bad habit of like opening a message and then not replying to it because someone sent me like paragraphs.
Oh well.
And I'm like, I'm not in the right headspace to answer this just now, but like the notification is bugging me. So I'm like, I'm going to open it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll forget to reply or I'll forget to mark it as unread again. And then I don't come back to it. So like, I can't pinpoint a specific person or a specific conversation that I have ghosted recently, but I know that I do that sometimes. Like, if someone is not my client, then I can be quite bad for unintentionally
Mm-hmm.
not replying to them. So that would be my answer.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of agree with you. It's not intentional, but it's one of those ones that's like I have things to do
Mm-hmm.
in a business day. Like I think like coaches, we don't sit with our feet up all day. Like we're doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
If our first kiss was a song, what would it be called?
What would it be called? Is this like an existing song, or is this like if we had to?
If we had to like give it a song name, like make one up.
I'd probably call it like
Passenger Princess.
Princess. Mm-hmm. Put Billy Ocean. It's like get out of my dreams, get into my car. We had a wee first kiss in the car.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was very nice. I was busy playing Billy Big Balls right up until it came to it, and then then the Neville hit it once, and I
You
was
were
like,
so nervous, and I feel like I had to kind of just like, don't know what the phrase is that I'm looking for.
we had this chat. It wasn't about kissing, but we had this chat earlier. But sometimes I need a nudge
Mm-hmm.
because it was something I'd like wanted to do, and then I knew I had like nothing left to do but do it, and then was like,
I thought it was really cute that you asked for permission. You didn't just like go in there with a kiss. But do you know what's really funny as well, though? Because like, see, when you came to pick me up,
uh,
I remember like when we first hugged, and you were like, "Are you shaking?" Because I actually was shaking like a leaf because
you
I
were
was so
shaky.
nervous. I was like fine with the conversation, but for some reason, like I don't know, I think I was just like freaking out because I was like, "Oh my god, this is actually happening," because it was just like such a new experience for me.
Yeah.
But it was like the way that like I was shaking when you came and picked me up. But
Mm-hmm.
then I feel like when you dropped me off, like when we had our first kiss, like
Mm.
you were more nervous than I was. So it was just like complete like role reversal. And we've spoken about this like a good few times as well. But like I think that one of the things that like makes our relationship work really well or like just makes it feel really natural is that like there is this constant like switch between like I think like dominant and submissive energies. But
Right,
it's
so we
like
balance each other out.
yeah, I feel like it's very like yin and yang. So like there's no like one overpowering the other.
Mm-hmm. It's like at any one time one of us will maybe need a wee bit of support, and the other one kind of there is like, right, I've got you, and another time like on any given day it can be the other.
Yeah. And I think we're both quite good at kind of like figuring out like when each of us needs the other to kind of and I think we have like obviously there was the time like a couple of weekends ago where like I wasn't in the best headspace and then you had stuff going on as well. And I think during times like that it's quite difficult to kind of it's not as easy to support each other then.
Because both of us were like, I have a thing and I need like whatever support would have looked like to us at the time from the other, but then the other was like, I also have a thing.
Yeah. But I feel like that's and that's been very like few and far between so
Mm.
far, and for the most part.
But equally, even when it did happen, we managed it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. What have we got?
See, you can see them all first in your facial.
God.
What?
Um, this one's not very PG.
Oh, good God. Don't listen to it, Mum.
How many sex toys do you think I own?
I don't think I know.
Oh my God. I'll never live down that drawer mishap. Oh, sweet. What was I even looking for?
We were looking for the hot water bottle. For cramp of all things.
Accidentally opened my sex toy drawer.
When you shut it just as fast.
That was when I tried to shut
No, it didn't. It
it.
jammed. I was like, well, the hot water bottle's definitely not in
Just
there.
lying like in a ball on the floor, embarrassed. Yeah.
Every day's a school day.
I'm gonna say I don't think you have any.
You'd be correct.
You're so innocent. You're so cute. What about you has felt repeatedly misunderstood by others, if anything?
The constant need to train. I feel like if I say to people that if you don't go, you don't know. If that makes sense. Like if you don't train hard, you don't know.
That's interesting because for some reason, I thought the first thing you were going to say was sexuality.
Oh, I took it dead like
But
had
I
to
think
Is it the gym?
Jim.
I feel like sexuality is a big one, primarily because as you grow up, there's obviously like there are stereotypes there, and even when I did come out, even from like other gay people,
Really?
yeah, especially when I was younger, especially when I was at uni, I felt it
That's
the most. It was almost as if you were like you're gay, but you're not gay in the right way, and I felt like I did not fit in or identify with the community at all until I joined my rugby team. It was only then that it kind of clicked that I was like, oh no, I can actually be whoever I want. When I was younger, I felt this expectation to either act straight if you were in the closet, or like if you were gay, you had to be gay in a certain way. And I remember thinking, well, none of these things are making me happy. Like I know for a fact I'm gay, but there's not a doubt in my head. But at the same time, it was like other people going, oh no, not like that though.
Yeah.
And then it made me feel like, have I ever really been seen? Or are people
Yeah.
just assuming I should be a certain way because of a word that's used to describe? So yeah, you'd be right. Love how I went straight for the gym.
I could think of a couple of things myself there. I think one of the big ones would be obviously veganism because there are so many misconceptions out there, and like a lot of people are like, oh, that must be really difficult, or oh, like, are you one of the preachy ones then, and all that shit. So like,
I would definitely disagree with the notion of a preachy vegan. I mean,
yeah,
many times we've been together. I mean, other than the fact when I choked on my dinner earlier, and you're like, that's what you get for eating chicken, but that was different. That was you're not a preachy vegan.
but I mean, like, even people that do preach about veganism, like, they're just fighting for a cause that they believe in.
Like anything else.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I think there are certain ways to go about things, and I think that you're going to be a lot more likely to kind of convince people of your way of thinking if you present things in a compassionate way and not in a judgmental way.
Yeah.
I think that like extremists in any sort of movement can just like paint a bad rep for other people. But yeah, I think that that's maybe something that I would say has made me feel repeatedly misunderstood by others. I think neurodivergence, like, although for me, like, I also misunderstood myself because I had all these mental health labels put on me when I was younger, when actually, like, all those things that made me kind of like tied into it. And like, I've always feel like I've just kind of felt misunderstood for just those little characteristics within myself, like things that are an innate part of my personality. So, like being such an empathetic person, like being an emotional person, like I'm not, like, I'm emotional because I care so deeply about things.
Yeah.
But these are things that I've been made to feel bad about my entire life. Like, I've been made to feel like I'm like too much or like too intense or like you need to learn to regulate your emotions and stuff. And it's like,
But why can't you just be? Why do you
yeah,
need to change?
yeah, like why do I
Says who?
have to, like, why do I have to accommodate other people and why do other people not have to accommodate
You.
me as an individual? Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm a hell of a lot happier when I don't have to pretend to be someone else.
Yeah.
So, Kiwi, could you move
Kiwi, where you going?
Kiwi? So yeah, I think that's probably like the two big ones for me.
I would agree.
Has your view on love evolved over time, if at all?
That's now. Like when I was younger, I genuinely like. Obviously, you grow up and you're like, "Oh, love's a thing," and then obviously, like as going along through life, in terms of like romantic love, I was like,
Hmm.
"No, I don't think it's out there."
Hmm.
And then you appeared, and then I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it."
Because I think that's, well, that's another thing that we did speak about earlier on today as well, because I've ended up in some very toxic
Mm-hmm.
situations myself. Like I know that you also have,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, not had the best experiences. And I think that, like, for me, I kind of just got to a point where I was like, there are so many little things about myself that I don't feel the most secure in. And like, I've gotten to a point where I genuinely started to lose hope that someone else could accept and love all those parts of me. And so in my head, it was like, well, I'm either destined to be single for the rest of my life, but maybe that's not actually a bad thing because then I don't have to make time for someone else. Then I can be selfish. Then I can focus on myself
Mm-hmm.
and I can keep my energy to myself. Or I'll just be in a relationship with someone who I can't fully be myself around and I have to conceal parts of myself and I don't get to be 100% authentic with. And I got to the point where I was like, do you know what? I actually think that maybe being single is the best option. And even like my mum said it to me, like my mum was like, do you know what, Lucy? Like some people just prefer to be on their own and maybe you are just one of those people. And like I started thinking like, do you know what? Like she could be onto something there. And I'd spoken to friends who also were like, yeah, that could be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I almost started to like believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But then we met and we started having the conversations that we have. And again, like I always had this like heteronormative view of the world, like even though I knew somewhere deep down that like I wasn't 100% straight,
Mm-hmm.
but I convinced myself like just to make other people happy and to fit in and so that I don't have to experience any of the discomfort that might come with exploring that side of myself. Like I'm just destined to be with a man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what like my perception of love was, and I feel like that has changed
Mm-hmm.
dramatically since we started seeing each other. Yeah, that was such a tangent.
We love a
We
tangent.
do. What's the hardest part about, okay, who are we meant to answer this for?
Oh, what is
What's
it?
the hardest part about dating you? This is connection, so not perception.
Was this like me saying for me?
What the hardest part is about dating me.
I wouldn't even call it like hard.
Hmm.
It's more like just understanding, obviously, with like the ADHD side of things. I think we've spoke about it before, like just because my brain processes something one way doesn't mean yours processes it the same way.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't say it's hard, it was just like it's different and once you understand that our brains take different steps to do certain things,
Hmm.
it's not hard, if that makes sense. It was just the learning that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like we're saying, in the early days, I was quite almost like puppy dog energy, and I'm like, let's say you're like, give me 2 seconds, Victoria. I wouldn't say it was hard in that, like, it's hard. It was more
Hmm.
like, as we got to know each other, I'm like, oh, wait, this isn't necessarily how like I would approach it, but it doesn't mean it's not the right way to approach it,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
yeah. I think like I would have to give a really similar answer there,
Mm.
and I had to really like think about that for a second there because like I did definitely, and we obviously had loads of conversations about that as well, just about like levels of communication and contact and stuff. And I have been thinking like for the last week or two as well about just how much like calmer and a lot more chilled I feel about everything. And we've spoken about like shifts in energy and stuff too. And it's like you are just like really receptive to my needs and my preferences where you have like taken on things on board
Mm-hmm.
and now we're communicating at a level that feels like just right for me and it's not like because I think sometimes I like I've obviously spoken to you about this like I'd get overwhelmed where I'm like
Mm-hmm.
I have this compulsion to reply to you right now but I know that if I reply right now then this conversation's just going to go
Yeah,
on
because
and
I will reply right
yeah
now.
so because we're both quite like quick textures when it comes to communicating with each other it's like if one of us doesn't take a step back for a minute then
Mm-hmm.
it will just like I will burn out.
Mm-hmm.
I will. And I think that was, I found that really difficult in the beginning because it was like, I want to keep talking to you and
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to keep this conversation going. But
But like, the battery is
if
empty.
we continue at the pace that we are currently going at, like, I cannot sustain this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want this to burn out. I don't want it to fizzle out. Like, I want to keep that excitement
Mm-hmm.
alive. So I think that was the hardest part. It was just trying to find that balance.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we very much found that balance now.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like, right, okay, this is what feels comfortable.
I would agree. Like I don't like it's quite. I feel laid back about it, if that makes sense. It's not something that's in the forefront of my brain.
Because before I was like, oh my God, I need to text you good night every night and I need to text you good morning and like I need like
Yeah. Don't
it's
just go to
actually
sleep
no,
if you're
like the
tired. Just go to
conversation
sleep.
is ongoing, like the conversation
Just rules.
just rolls, it never ends. So even if it's like 12 hours later, like I know that you're not gonna be like, oh my God, why is Lucy not replied to me
I'll
yet?
just be like, she's off doing a thing. Like
Yeah.
generally at night, if like I hadn't like heard from you, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, what's this doing? Like, might have been ignored him, but she's probably asleep.
Yeah.
And even in the morning, like obviously, like you're saying, like obviously we both work, we both deal with clients, like we're both adults, we both got other things, we both got vet, like we both train. Like I think it was like you're saying, like just finding the rhythm of communication that worked
Yeah.
for us in terms of frequency.
Now I'm like so much more excited to text you and it's like I feel like the balance is just so good right
Mm,
now. And that's on communication.
yeah,
Right. I think if we answer one more of
right, we'll
these,
do one more.
yeah, because we've gone on some serious tangents. Do you have any unconventional opinions when it comes to romantic relationships?
I don't think so. I feel like I'm a bit of a romantic. And I suppose in like day and age we find ourselves in now, like there's obviously quite a lot of like things like if people like to use it a kind of extreme example, like when people get married, like we don't necessarily take names anymore. Some people make it like I don't really feel like I have anything unconventional. I wouldn't even say it's unconventional, but I feel like we've spoke about it before, like it doesn't necessarily need to look like it makes sense to the outside world.
Yeah,
But if it works for us, then for me it's a winner.
yeah,
And I suppose to some people that would look unconventional
yeah,
because they might be looking in at it thinking, oh, that might not be like, that's not how their relationship works, or that's not how they would approach it. And I'm like, well, they're not in this relationship, so.
yeah. I think that's again that's something that we've spoken about a fair bit, and I think this is where like a lot of my like relationship anxiety and stuff has stemmed from before, where it's like I feel like to most people or to a lot of people anyway, like relationships follow like certain steps
Mm,
and like that spark, like the chemistry and the what was it, chemistry and the connection, like both need to be present like all the time for it to be like a viable relationship.
Mm.
And it's when things like trauma and like neurodivergence and all these other things that come into it that I'm like, actually, like, that's not how relationships work for everyone,
Mm-hmm.
especially if there are certain things that your brain's like trying to protect you from, or if there's certain things that you are maybe not ready to address, or certain things you're getting triggered by. And I think these are all things that I'm coming to realize more, like, as we have conversations about these things, that like a lot of things kind of like freaked me out in the beginning about our relationship, because I was like, well, this isn't how I've experienced a relationship before. So therefore, in my mind, because I've got this like schema in my brain for what a relationship is meant to look and feel like, if something's not quite matching up, then I'm like, this isn't right. When actually it's just like, no, your brain's just trying to protect you. Your brain's just trying to process things. Like, so I think, yeah, I don't know if I would say that's an unconventional opinion, but I think it's just overall that like my perception of relationships is different now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I think like when it comes to like marriage, for example, like I've never really been one to consider, although again, this was when I was like dating men or in relationships with men, and I was like, I don't see myself wanting to be a wife because I do not want to be a man's property.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I genuinely, I think now I would be more open to the idea of marriage in a lesbian relationship, because it's like, well, like gay people haven't always had like
That right.
that right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would do it from like, I mean, apart from like the idea of like feeling secure enough that I'd be like, right, okay, like actually, like I do want to like spend my life with you, for example. I think I would do it from a point of like it being like a political
Yeah.
thing as well.
Because it's like we're saying, like people like us, like fair enough, it was kind of like civil partnerships before, but once upon a time it was outright illegal.
It's like, it's similar to like women having the vote, you know, like I don't really like to partake in politics.
So I'm not overly
as it is.
Like, I feel like it's alright, given that all the people that went before
I
us.
feel like nowadays you're like voting for the lesser of two evils with the way that like the political system works in the UK. I still use my vote because we've not always had the right to vote.
Every time we have to vote, or like it's like polling day or whatever, I always say to people, because like if folk are like, oh, I don't know who to vote for, I'm like, even if you're not voting for anyone, go in and spoil the ballot, because like we don't always have that right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like acknowledging that privilege and exercising that privilege because you've been afforded that privilege.
Generations before wouldn't have been able to even dream of it.
If I was in a relationship with a man, like I absolutely would not want to get married because of what that symbolizes.
The name change, like the transferring over, like it's property transfer. That's what it was back in the day, and I'm like, no,
it's not.
You're your own woman before you're anyone else's.
Yeah, but I think that's probably the main conventional opinion that I have when it comes to romantic relationships.
And I would agree with you. So technically, if that makes two of us, it's not unconventional.
Very true. Well, I feel as if this has been a very insightful episode.
Been quite a meaty one.
Not just for listeners, but I think for ourselves as well.
Yeah, just in general.
Like, I'm enjoying these questions. I feel as
if
they're
like playing our games,
bringing about some really interesting conversations that we maybe wouldn't otherwise have with each other. Well, we probably would at some point.
Probably would have cropped up, but obviously this is like bringing up.
Do you know what I find really interesting as well, though, is like we've both been almost like interpreting the questions in different ways as well. So it's just interesting to see, or like
the other side of it.
Yeah.
The other side of the same coin.
But for anyone who is interested in playing this game, it's called We're Not Really Strangers. I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the episode, but you can download it on the App Store, although it does cost money. I think I paid like 12 quid for 50% off lifetime purchase.
Lifetime purchase? I mean, you can play anything.
But you can buy the cards off of Amazon and stuff as well. for like, I want to say like 20 quid. But I think that it is a really good game to play just to get to know your loved ones better and have some insightful and interesting discussions with them.
But we've had endless fun with it so far.
We have.
There's lots of different ones.
But yeah, if you've made it this far, then thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of our podcast. You can find us over on Instagram if you have any suggestions, topics that you want covered, any questions for us. As always, at tailormadetraining.pt on Insta.
And VB the PT on Insta.
Thank you so much again, and we will catch you on the flip.